Hi there, Adrian. Welcome as a member of Tina Heals. And this is your Sun, Moon, Ascendant video, as you very well know. And to everybody watching, this is Adrian, who's my member, these are his combinations. And it's because of him I'm making this video. So if you decide to become a member on the Tina Heals channel, then I shall also gift you with your very own Sun, Moon, Ascendant video. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and let's get straight to it. So you have, Adrian, your Sun and your Moon in Capricorn, and you are a Taurus Rising. So this makes you totally earth-based, very earth-based, okay? Now when we talk about a Taurus rising, let's begin from the rising, okay? It's your first house, it's the helm of your natal chart. And when we think about the first house, we think of, who we are. When we walk into a room, people sense our first house, our ascendant, more than our sun and our moon. Okay, sun is more our will, our leadership abilities, and the moon is more our mental makeup, our mind. So now with the Taurus rising, you are ruled by Venus, because Taurus is a sign that is ruled by Venus. It's Venus's earthly home. And it is a nocturnal sign. It is a sign of the womb, okay? And of course the most famous constellation which we have in Taurus is Pleiades. Now when we talk about a Taurus rising, okay, so the most important thing will be to see the placement of Venus in your natal chart. Wherein sits Venus? Because she is the dispositor of your chart. She's your ascendant ruler. I don't know if she's the dispositor, but she could very well be, Dispositor is the person who holds most amount of rulerships. Okay, now when we think about Taurus, we think of nocturnal, like I said, womb space, agriculture, food. When we think of Venus, we think of beauty, harmony, aesthetics, law, justice, fairness, business. Venus is also money. So Taurus and Libra, two signs ruled by Venus, are pretty business savvy. Taurus is a fixed sign, so very stubborn. The symbol is a bull. Now when we think of bull, we think of words like endurance, perseverance, hard work, determination. But there is very less flexibility with a Taurus, okay? They like tried and tested methods, okay? Now Taurus is a sign where the moon exalts. Moon's exaltation is 3 degrees of Taurus. Now exaltation of a planet occurs when the planet is in a sign where she feels most at home, sometimes even more than her rulership, which is why we know that Cancer and Taurus share a very harmonious relationship. They're of course sextile, but more than that, they share a very harmonious relationship of give and take. Taurus and Cancer, both very nurturing signs. Now coming back to the exaltation of the moon, so of course emotional, very emotional, again a lover of old things, and makes you very sexual, because Venus has to do with sexuality, with our desire, because Venus is the desire principle. So now when we think about a Taurian, we think of someone who is, into luxury things. They don't like basic things. So they're not going to go to a shop and pick up something that is like literally on sale. They like the runways. They like, luxury stuff, high quality stuff, because Taurus understands the value of things. Venus's value, what we value. So there is that. There's also this artistic side to Taurus. There's this artistic side, right, which is very interesting, because Venus is now finding expression through a fixed sign. Okay, fixed sign. So there's a stubbornness to Venus here. There's a fixed way of doing things. But once she can break out of that, then she feels extremely liberated, right? Because Taurians are really good with not only their living spaces, themselves. They're very they're very interested to put the best foot forward when it comes to appearances. Appearances matter to Taurus and Libra, or say Venus on the first house, Venus on the ascendant degree. It's important to them, like so They may even spend a lot of money trying to look good. Now, Taurus is also, of course, the opposite sign of Scorpio. So there's this Mars is debilitated in Taurus. Okay, is debilitated in Taurus, and that means action, taking some kind of risky endeavor, jumping into something risky is not the hallmark of Taurus, but very sensual. They love food. Taurus and Cancer, again, two signs that are intimately connected to food. Okay, whereas Libra, Venus's other sign, is more connected to maybe spaces, the spatial thing like architecture, but Taurus is very concerned about agriculture, food. That's why I said when Uranus makes his foray through Taurus, we are going to see innovations in the food industry like hydroponics, aquaponics, and stuff like that. Now, let's come to your Capricorn Sun and Moon. So when you think of Capricorn, Capricorn is again earth sign. So earth signs, there's something about earth signs that, they fluctuate between extremes of poverty and wealth. And also it could be that, when you were a kid, then you had a troubled childhood, especially because, of course, Saturn and Sun are not friends. You've got Sun there and you've got Moon there in Capricorn. They're not friends, right? Because the Moon is friendly with the Sun in Vedic astrology. But when we think of Western astrology, we think of the Sun and the Moon as a kind of polarity. And this Moon definitely doesn't get along with the Sun. Now, when we're talking about Taurus rising, of course, I'm using whole sign houses. So when you're going through Taurus, then Capricorn becomes your 9th house, okay? 9th house, again, is about publishing, concerns the father. It's about long distance travel. It's about higher education. Now you also have a Sun and Moon conjunction. Now if the Moon is 15 degrees away from the Sun, then there is no combustion of the Moon. Combustion is when a planet is extremely close to the Sun. We call that combustion in Vedic astrology. In Western astrology, we call that Kazini. So there is a difficulty when the planet is close to Sun, but Sun Moon are friends usually. So there's this, the mother and the father forever creating, sustaining the solar system, Moon sustaining life on Earth. But the point of the Sun and Moon conjunction, it could mean that, either your father overpowered your mother, because, if the Sun is combusting the Moon, or your willpower is kind of overpowering your emotions, or your necessity to succeed is kind of destroying your emotional makeup. So there's something about that you have to balance. If it's combusted, if it's not combusted, then it could mean that you have this synergistic understanding of your emotions and who you want to project on in front of people. So there's a harmony to that, and that's really essential, right? And the 9th house is kind of like all about your higher ideals as well. In the natural zodiac, is a place of Sagittarius, Jupiter. Now Saturn, who's a ruler of Capricorn. Now, of course, you have to understand the Sun and the Moon and how they will function. In your natal chart, you've got to look to Saturn to better understand how your Sun and Moon are going to fare. But first and foremost, remember that the Sun and the Moon do not get along with Saturn. So they are in the house of like an enemy planet, right? So what happens if you go to someone's house and you're not truly comfortable with them? How do you feel? Do you feel like you could be yourself, like you can open up? Okay, you could possibly if you resolve the scenario, but when you look at it deeply, you see that in the solar system, that is the little simulation of the Sun, Saturn is the vizier. The Sun is the king, Saturn is the vizier. So it's also known that the vizier and the Sun and the king don't always get along, right? Because the vizier has to deal with real life problems, executing the real work, whereas the king is more of get this done, I want this done. So the king may not oftentimes understand the dilemma of the vizier, and the vizier may not understand that the king he possibly thinks the king has an inflated head. So this dilemma is always playing out with Sun and Saturn. But essentially, we have to understand that whether they are enemy planets or not, we are all in harmony in the solar system. You know, merged through quantum entanglement. And when you think about Saturn, really, you think about keywords like karma, righteousness, limitations, complications, conflicts, mastery. When we think about all these restrictions, these confinements that the sun that Saturn puts on us, it's because he expects complete mastery from us. Okay, that is the lesson of Saturn, which is complete mastery. And that is why Capricorn is a sign of hierarchies. Like it is the sign that deals with, and of course, Capricorn for you is the top of your chart. 10th house is absolutely at the top, and 9th house is pretty much at the top of your chart. So that means, your mom and dad were very seen in your life, right? Were very seen. People saw them. They were active in your life. And, now depending upon the placement of Saturn, of course, if the moon was it is combust in your chart, then mother may have taken a more sedentary role, a more, behind the scenes role. If they are apart, then of course, depending upon who is closer to your cusp of the house, that person would have played a more important role in your life. Now also, when they are in conjunction, it could mean that your mother and father were in a kind of a synergy, that they agreed with how to bring you up, or what to do with you, how you lived your childhood. Also ninth house, because your sun moon are there, it could mean that one of your parent is not from the same race. That is, either your father has married into a different race, your mother has married into a different race. So you could very well be mixed race with sun and moon in the 9th house, right? Now, the thing is that when you think about Saturn and his lessons and, all these kinds of complications, it's best to understand the law of acceptance with Saturn. Because Saturn, he puts you through such things and he expects you to solve them. But then again, certain things can't be solved, and as Lao Tzu says that acceptance, Saturn teaches us #adulting, maturity. And with maturity comes acceptance, comes understanding that there are things that are greater than us, that we cannot try to control, but there is definitely a sense of control that you exude with that 9th house sun in Capricorn. Capricorn is the archetype of the boss. So it could be that your mom and dad both worked in a big corporation or worked with each other developing a business. That's also very possible. Now, when you think about if your Saturn is afflicted, of course these planets are going to pose tremendous challenges. Even if they are not afflicted, they will pose challenges, because Saturn is all about challenges, right? And could be challenges in a foreign country because it's 9th house, or even challenges related to your higher education. But with the sun and the moon conjunction in the 9th house, you will always be educating yourself. It's like, even if you are not university educated, MA, PhD, MSc or whatever, you will always seek to engage with higher knowledge in some way. You're always looking for the truth. In Hellenistic astrology, 9th house is where the sun has planetary joy. Right, you have exalted planets and then you have planetary joy. So, like Mercury has planetary joy in the 1st house, okay, and Mars in the 6th, Venus in the 5th, Saturn in the 12th. So this is very interesting because the sun has planetary joy in the 9th. So in a way, the sun is quite a powerful sun in the 9th house. Very good for politics. Very good for someone who has a visible career. Now also moon is a wife. So having a sun-moon conjunction could also mean that you meet your wife, moon wife, and you could meet your wife who will possibly be from a different culture, or you're definitely attracted to women from different cultures, and you find them very interesting. So I hope that was okay and you had fun understanding how your sun, moon, and rising work. The moon is emotions, like I said. The sun is, your father. Moon is the mother. Sun is your willpower, how you succeed, your ability to shine in the world, the warmth that you bring, the light that you shine. So, having them both in Saturn is a cold planet. So, having them both placed in this Saturn's domain can, of course, result in Vata issues, which is Ayurveda word for airy imbalance. But it could also mean that you have problems with control, or your parents could have been very controlling and tried to discipline you quite hard. So thank you very much. I hope you will continue your membership. And to those listening, if you join my Hardcore Astro Gang level of membership, then you shall get your Sun, Moon, Rising video for free. This is my offer to all my subscribers. Kindly look into this if you're interested. Always a like and your comments help greatly. They keep me encouraged. So please keep them coming. Book your reading, www.tinahills.com, my website, and email me tina@tinahills.com. Thank you. Speak soon.